mercy of God's glory. In the name of Jesus. Genesis chapter 1 from verse 26. The Lord was speaking to himself. You know, there are times I was sharing with my people on Sunday and I told them there are works that God delegates to angels. But there are certain works that God does himself. Creation is one of them. You can't delegate that assignment to any being because nobody has the blueprint. In fact, the codes are locked in the Godhead. Only God knows it. Creation is one of it. Redemption is another. These assignments, you can't delegate them. Only God can do them. Because we're dealing with a subject, people ask questions. They say God is not married. How can God have a son? Have you heard such things before? You know, essentially speaking, God is one being. But in manifestation, he takes three forms. Because he has an administration that only him can actualize. So God has to manifest in different forms so that God can run God's errand. In order for God to run God's errand. Because if you send an angel to create, an angel will become creator. So when the way God works is, God is sitting. And when God speaks, you know, I'm talking, you are hearing sound. But when God speaks, the voice of God walks. The Bible said in Genesis 3:8, it said the voice of God came walking in the garden. So when God speaks, it's not volume. When God speaks, the voice of God is a person. So the God that sits on the throne, who originates the voice, is called Father. The one that goes out to walk is called Son. So it's not about wife and husband. It's a separation that is captured within spiritual intelligence. You don't have to marry to have a child. Even in biology, we know that amoeba can divide into two. And both is the same. Are you following this? So the mysteries are much. Now, when God wanted to extend his possibilities outside of himself, he decided to create an entity that will mirror him. And that was when man came into the scene. And so in Genesis chapter 1 verse 26, God speaking, he said, let us make man in our own image, after our likeness. And so when you want to find God outside of God, the only place you should trace him is a man. Let us make man in our own image, after our likeness. And so too much is locked into the human vessel. One of our major responsibilities as we walk through time is to tap into the frequency of our inner man and draw out the resources of God that is locked there. But you see, this assignment is not wished. It's a responsibility. And that's why the theme of the conference is, let the river flow. Because greatness is not for irresponsible people. You have to let the river flow. 1 Thessalonians 5:5, he said, you are the children of light. So every one of us here is light. But not everyone shines. For you to shine, Matthew 5:16 says, let your light shine. Because you were born to shine. He was a burning and a shining light. So if you don't take responsibility, you can't manifest. So the call of this conference, first of all, is to show you who you are and to show you how to release what you carry. If you don't know who you are, you can't release what you carry. And if you know who you are, then you take responsibility to release what you carry. So you have not come to this conference except as you begin to understand man from another dimension. Because some of the things we know about ourselves is what circumstance told us. But I came to tell you what your desire